What's up, icons? It's the iconic fashion figure back with a new video. Now, who needs new vendors? Do you have specific categories you're looking for? Do you have specific products you are looking for? Then this is the video for you. I'm just kidding with you guys. I had to do a little clickbait to get you guys' attention because I've been trying to spread this message for a while now, at least for a year. So don't click off. I need you to hear this, including my icons that do not fit the description of this message I'm sharing, but I need you guys' help to share this message because it could affect you in the long run. Now, I know you guys probably seen one of my wholesale vendor videos where I mentioned that a few of the wholesale vendors that I've provided to you guys in the past, their websites were either taken down, they've left messages on there saying like, you can't even access their website unless you contact them first, and then they'll grant you access to the website and help you get approved for an account. We're going to start seeing that more often than not if we all don't get it together when it comes to contacting these vendors. I got a DM from a vendor specifically, which I'll discuss in a minute because it's not just them, there's several of them, where they don't even want to be mentioned or have their information shared because they're having a difficult time getting you guys approved since they're getting a lot of pushback when it comes to providing a resale certificate, or some of them just want your business license. But some of you don't even have your business registered yet and you're haggling with these vendors to get approved when they're telling you specifically what they need from you to get you approved. Now, I hate to be doing this video because I feel like I've said it multiple times, but I know it's not just my subscribers that are doing this because I have people that aren't even subscribed to my channel that'll just watch my vendor videos only to get new vendors, and then I also have some YouTubers that are recreating my videos and spreading this information to their viewers, which is fine. That's perfectly okay with me, but that's why I need all of you to help me out and share this information to everyone so we can all get on the same page. Otherwise, I have to stop sharing these wholesale vendors with you guys. And for the YouTubers that are watching my videos to share this information with your subscribers, I don't care that you're doing that, but please let your subscribers know as well this information that I'm sharing with you guys. Now, I've said it a few times, so I know you guys are probably tired of hearing me say this. For those of you that do watch my videos regularly, if you come across a vendor that's asking for specific documentation or they have specific requirements of you in order to get approved, and you know you don't qualify, just move on to the next one. There's several vendors out there and I'm gonna continue giving them to you guys if we can get this right, because I don't want to keep getting DMs from vendors saying don't share their information because they don't have time for all the emails and phone calls they're receiving, going back and forth with people trying to express how their business runs and the requirements needed. Majority of the vendors I share with you guys require a resale certificate. That is typically standard in the wholesale industry. Now, if there are any vendors out there that don't require a resale certificate or will allow you to apply only with an EIN or certain documentation, I try to specify that so you guys know exactly which vendors are for you. So if you don't have a resale certificate or you're not interested in getting a resale certificate, you know that vendor specifically for you. Some of them have changed their rules since my video, so if I find out information that has been changed, I will try to post it so that way you guys know ahead of time, because that video might be a year old and since then they have changed their rules. I know for my business, speaking on me specifically, I had to do that because originally when I started my business and started sharing this information about my business on YouTube, I wasn't as strict as far as approving accounts. As long as it followed like the government guidelines and the IRS guidelines, I didn't care. But then it got to a point when it came to approving accounts, it was like you had to suit up before you started going through these accounts. I had to get my shield and my armor on before going through these new accounts because you already knew you were going to get pushback. I mean, you would get emails from customers cursing you out, emails telling you that people trying to degrade your business just because they don't have the proper documentation, and it baffles me because it's like the information is already right there. I tell you what you need on my website before you even apply. If you choose to still apply and then get denied because you don't fit the qualifications, why are you cursing me out? So I know these other vendors are feeling the same way I felt. That's why I took initiative and made the changes specifically for my business, because there's no way that me or anyone else is going to have to sit there and feel like they have to suit up before they actually start approving new accounts. It's not fair to anyone's business. If someone tells you no, I promise you it's not the end of the world. A no is simply a no. You'll probably hear no a million times before you hear a yes. All you have to do is just move on to the next vendor. Someone will tell you yes, just keep trying. But when you have that negative attitude towards one one vendor, you're gonna start seeing that trickle down. And like I said before, this industry is small. These people move around, so they might be a sales rep at one company and then down the road be a sales rep at another company, and you're now trying to work with this new company. They'll remember you, trust me, and they're not gonna work with you. You'll keep getting no's because you made this bad name for yourself. Also keep in mind, you're representing your brand too. Don't destroy your brand's reputation all because someone told you no. I'm trying to find ways to get the information across to you guys to help everyone get set up as far as, you know, getting the proper documentation for your business. A lot of you already have it, you just don't realize the documents you have. So I've gone through this, I have a video, it'll be linked down below. The business license, your LLC documentation, the DBA documentation, your corporate documentation, your EIN, those aren't resale certificates. Those are documents you need for your business, but they have their own purposes. Every document you have has a different purpose. Your resale certificate is issued by your state, usually from Department of Revenue. Some call it Department of Taxation, some call it Department of Finance. And I think that's the part that's confusing for everyone, because even with a resale certificate, it has a million names. It can be a seller's permit, sales and use tax. Ohio calls it a vendor's license. It all has a different name, but in the end, the purpose of that documentation is you're buying with the intent to resell. And that's typically the documentation most wholesale vendors want in order to sell to you, because they're not collecting tax from you. So you have to be registered with the intent to resell in order for them to sell to you. There are some vendors out there that will do it solely with an EIN, but you have to look for that information that they specify it. Some of these vendors I'll give to you guys and I'll show you like their frequently asked questions or they're about us, and I'll give you as much information as I can, and then I'll tell you from there, do further research. So just because I share it does not mean that everyone qualifies for it. Not everyone will qualify, but that's why I try to give as many vendors as possible so everyone can find a vendor that they can qualify with. So on top of doing the resale video, I try to respond to everyone's DMs as far as, you know, the documentation needed. I know I take forever getting through all of those. It's difficult, which is why I ended up joining Clubhouse, which I did not want another social media, but I did it in hopes that for situations like this, when multiple people have the same question, we can all do one quick chat and I can go through it. So even if I have to start doing those groups on Clubhouse by state, and whoever's in that state that needs help can join that chat, we can do it that way. If you have other ideas that can help each other, put it down in the comments and then I'll consider it. We'll figure out ways. We gotta find something, because if I have to stop giving vendors, it's going to ruin it for everyone. So if you are one of the people that need help, or if you are a person that maybe in the beginning didn't understand your documents and you now understand, help us out with what helped you figure out your documents so we can help everyone else. Now, as far as the vendor that recently DM'd me asking to be removed, please don't go attack their business. Don't do that, because they're really polite and professional. I know some of you guys will immediately go attack them. That's not what we're doing, because they actually are willing to work with new accounts as long as you qualify. But that vendor is Randy's Showroom, which is one of the kids vendors. It was shared in my wholesale kids vendor list, which I'll make note of that too on the kids vendor list video, to disregard that vendor. But again, it's not that they don't want to work with new people, you just have to meet the qualifications. So specifically in his DM that he sent me, it said that they just require a vendor's license or a tax ID, but the issue they're having is a lot of people don't even know what that is. So if you need help with that, please let me know. I'd rather you come to me asking for help. I know it takes forever to get to everyone, but come to me rather than just applying to them and expecting them to teach you about your licenses and all your documentation, because that's not what they're there for. Now with my business, yes, I will help people. So I get people send their EIN all the time, and I put on there so many times that I don't accept an EIN solely as your resale certificate. I put a chart on there to tell you exactly what's accepted, what's not accepted. I know people still send the wrong documents, and what I'll do is push it back and give you an opportunity to send the correct one. If you need help, I'll tell you the name of the document required. I'll even give you the link of the website of where we go and verify every single state's document, because every state except New Hampshire has a resale certificate, because that's the other pushback you'll get. Well, my state doesn't have a resale certificate. Yes, you do. It just most likely has a different name. So if you're unsure, either do the research or contact me, but don't go to these vendors expecting them to tell you what documents you need. The other thing that they put in their DMs, I'm reading it from my phone right now to make sure I hope you guys understand everything. So the other issues they're having is people don't understand ordering minimums, buying for seasons in advance, etc. So ordering minimums. Every company may have a different minimum order amount. There's some vendors that have a minimum dollar amount. It could be $50, it could be $100. Your subtotal before shipping, most likely after any discounts, has to hit that order minimum in order for them to sell to you. Some of them may just be pre-packed, so you may have to order one pre-pack, which a pre-pack can be a pack of 6, it could be a pack of 12. You have some of these vendors that are vendors that typically only work with corporations like the big box stores, and they may have larger minimums. It could be 1,000 pieces, it can be 2,000 pieces. Their minimums are their minimums, and you can't challenge that. So if they tell you you have to order 1,000 pieces to buy from them, then so be it. I have viewers on here that have multiple stores, so those vendors would work for them because they have multiple locations, so ordering 1,000 pieces is nothing to them. For some of us that may be smaller, ordering 1,000 pieces is crazy to us to order of one style. I know specifically for me, I still get people that ask, can they split up the pre-packs? Can they add multiple colors? Most vendors won't do that for you. The pre-pack is a pre-pack and it cannot be broken. Pre-packs typically come with one color, multiple sizes of that one color, one style. If you want multiple colors, you have to buy multiple packs. Now, I did share some vendors out there that sell in open packs where you can create your own. So if you're one of the ones that need to break pre-packs or can't meet those order minimums, you'll want to go to one of the vendors that have open packs. And then buying in advance for the different seasons. I don't think that's something I talked about to you guys yet, so that's probably something you don't understand yet, but that is a norm in the wholesale industry, especially working with some of the more seasoned wholesale vendors that have been around for a while. That is how the corporations and the big box stores typically buy. They buy in advance. So let's say for spring, they probably already submitted their orders back in October for spring, and then it gets produced, and once we're closer to that season, so right about this time now, that stuff starts getting shipped. Every wholesaler that I've worked for before starting for myself, that is how they work, and that's typically how I started my business until I noticed the boutiques can't buy that way. So I switched it up and kind of had a little of both. So some of you may have recently noticed with my business, I kind of opened that up to boutiques as well, where I'll send you the line sheets if you want to buy in advance before we even approach that season. Some boutiques only buy once you're actually in that season. So if you get a wholesale vendor that tells you you have to buy in advance for the season, that typically means in fall time you're buying for spring. You're not looking at fall. They're probably not even selling fall anymore because they moved on from that. You're going to be buying for the next season. And if that's something that does not fit your business, just move on to the next wholesale vendor because that doesn't work for you. Some of the places you'll want to focus on if you can't buy in advance for the next season, you'll want to focus on like the Orange Shine, Fashion Go, LA Showroom. Those are the marketplaces that operate more like retail. You can just go on their website, place your order, and then it gets shipped out to you in a couple days. Whereas buying in advance for the next season, you're placing your order a few months in advance and it'll take you a couple months before you receive it. If you choose to buy from a vendor that allows you to buy in advance for the next season, please expect that your order is going to take at least a month or two. Don't place an order and a week later start harassing them about where's my order, because it gets frustrating to them, especially when they have so much other work. They don't want to have to keep emailing you telling you, oh, you bought in advance, it won't ship until this date. Like, that date is that date. If it's early, I'm sure they'll reach out to you asking if it's okay to ship to you early and if you want it early. Otherwise, that date is the date and there's no way to get it earlier because you're buying in advance. I'm trying to think of what other key points I need to hit to make sure this message gets across, because hopefully this time it does get across. Otherwise, I will hold off on giving any additional wholesale vendors until we can get this on the right track, because I don't want this to hurt any of the businesses out there, the wholesale vendors. When I started doing the wholesale videos, it was supposed to be a win-win for both. The wholesale vendors can get new customers, and then the new businesses and the boutiques can find the products that they need for their business, but never for the wholesale vendors to feel like they don't want new accounts or they have to take down their website. It's supposed to be a win-win for everyone, so we all have to work together to get it done right, so that way everyone can win. Again, if you have any other ideas of how we can spread spread this information across and help one another to understand our documentation and understand how to get approved. If I need to do another video on the whole resale certificate situation, because I know I did get a DM from someone recently said they watched the video and they were still confused about it, tell me. Just put it in the comments. The comments is the first thing I check. I check the comments on a new video. Usually that first 24 hours is usually when I check the comments the most. Other than that, for like the next week before a new video goes out, I'll keep looking at the comments. DM, I try to do as much as possible, and emails I finally got caught up with. Can you guys believe my inbox only has 2 emails right now? So I'm caught up there. So any other suggestions, put it in the comments below. Let's figure this out to help everyone out so that way I can continue giving you these wholesale vendors. I hope you guys understand, and I hope no one took this the wrong way, because this is to help everyone. Thank you for watching.